Greetings, my relatives. And here we are again on this beginning of another 13-day week. And life continues. And this is the frequencies in which the universe is working with. The sun is going through these houses and of the constellations in the sky across what we look at as our universe. So this week is beginning with the Humbats. Humbats is the weaving of life. What are we weaving with our thoughts, our prayers, our actions? That it takes us into a beautiful path, or into the music, the art, the beauty. Humbats, they represent the way we express ourselves. So how do we want to express that which we are feeling, what we're having emotions, what our visions, how we want to crystallize our visions? Because Humbats will take us to 13 Akabal, the 13 houses. The people in this way here in this week who have this tree of life, they want to build like engineers, architects. Akabal, the house of light, the house of creation. Akabal, the house that some of you will inherit, because we are creating a house of wisdom, a house of healing, like the sweat lodges, the arbors, the teepees, the kivas. Those are the places of Akabal, the places where we communicate or pray or celebrate life and pray with the forces of the universe. So Humbats is like the weavings of life. This is my one of my sashes, that the sash that was given to me in like 94 when I did my ceremonies with the Maya, with my initiations as a achkich. So the weavings of life is like this, we start to be fresh. And of course, some of these are already, getting a little used because I've used it for so many years now. But the weaving of life, when they told me when they were weaving it, they had dreams and visions and songs came up for them, for the weavers. And the woman said, this is going to be a long life, but there'll be times when we have to go through the weaving and select if we want to keep weaving it or not. So you see the two delivered colors, with the symbols of Tzikim and Akabal and all the Nahuales that I work with that are in my tree of life. So you see the two reds, not all this, so it should be a one, So this is the one end that is, still holding on. But the other end, we've been going through some things in life. And so it's really tattered, see? It's only one left on the other side. It's like, falling apart. And one time it burnt, so we have to cut it and took it to Guatemala and they rewove it again. And kind of lost the life there, So this is like the parts of ourselves that sometimes we find ourselves like this in Humbats. What have you been weaving? Maybe we got injured. Maybe we got lost. Maybe it's just a mess. But we have to continue in finding out what we weave, because we have to make it to the house of light. We have to make it to the sacred house. So on our way, like the last week, we had 13 Noch, the week before. The wisdom, what is it? And so now, 40 days later, 7 Noch comes up in the middle of this Humbats. Do you remember the wisdom? Do you remember what your covenants, the full potential of the 13 Noch was? And now we see it now come back 40 days later to say, we want to see the top of the wisdom and knowledge that we're using, because the very next day, 8 days from now, guess who comes back again? 40 days later from the Hunti Hash, Wakshakiti Hash, 80 Hash. Now what we started on Hunti Hash, it must complete. We can't keep cutting away and fighting. And this has to be complete, wrapped up, and put it away. Because now the next day is Beleheb Kawuk, the 9 Kawuk. A time for purification, time for cleansing. This is the journey of Humbats, is to already now take it into the dance, the music, the beauty, the connection. Now we know what we're weaving. We want to be clean. We want to purify, because when we get to the 13 Akabal, we want to be in a purified mode, because the Kawuk, the very next 10 days from now, is 10 Akpu. The Lords of the Light starts to now take their turn, because Kemeh has been on this journey quite a bit. Tijax, Kemeh, Kat, it's kind of cleansing and purifying, but then there's light at the end of the tunnel with 10 Akpu. 10 Akpu, we gotta be in the light. We have to breathe the light. We have to become light beings, because when we get to Akabal, we want to be in the house of light, the house of crystals, the house of wisdom, the house of we are clear. Because if not, then we go through all this and we get to the house of darkness, 13 Akabal, the houses of the underworld, hospitals, refugee camps, war zones. The illusions of the mind will get captured into labyrinth that there's no exits off of it. 13 Akabal in the dark, we don't want to be near them. You want to stay away from that. So evolution, we've been sharing on the Huntihaj to the Beleheb Kemeh, the 9 Kemeh, to evolve, to birth through that. So the Humbats comes in and says, okay, I can celebrate and start my weaving, my actions. So what is it going to take to apply the wisdom? So any loose ends, remember, we finish them off. No more loose ends. Finish it off, apology, start over, release it, bury it, burn it, say goodbye, so that we go into the house of light. Nice place, really beautiful place over there, 13 Akabal. So Lachuch, Achpu, 10 Achpu is we will know that we are in part of the blessings of life, that we are with the Lords of the Light, reflecting good things on the world, weaving good things, so that which has been, challenged, and we went through some war zones with this sash. A lot of prayers, a lot of ceremonies, a lot of journeys, pilgrimages, but we still have one good side still that, is holding through. So someday we'll have to take it back and get it fixed again. But for now, we keep working, we keep weaving, and you can start taking these ends and maybe even braid them up together, and just focus again. And what was the beginning? Where do we start it of our sacred journey? So I'll see you on the other side. I hope.